Munder-difflin is a desktop application that turns real terminal agent command line interfaces into fully functional agents that live in a shared virtual office. It wraps popular AI programming assistants such as Claude Code, Gemini, OpenAI Codex, Grok, Kimi Code, Qwen, OpenCode, Crush, PyDev, and GitHub Copilot CLI, and even allows you to bring your own providers and local large language models. Everything runs on your own machine, and the harness keeps the agents working while you're away. Each agent is represented by an avatar on a 2D office floor, and a single coordinator, called the God agent or Michael, routes tasks, resolves routine requests, and escalates only the truly critical ones that need your attention. The whole system is built with Electron, React for the renderer, Pixie.js for the office visualization, Term.js for terminal emulation, and Nodapty to spawn the underlying terminal processes. How it works: when you start the app, you can spawn a new agent by clicking Add Agent. The harness launches a terminal process, for example Claude or Agi, inside a pseudo terminal. The process runs exactly as it would in a regular terminal, and its output is streamed back to the application over an interprocess channel. Each agent has its own working directory, identity, and Git repository that it can use for source control. The agents communicate via a simple on-disk hive that stores flat files in a dedicated folder. Each agent writes its outgoing messages to an outbox file. The harness, acting as a router, reads the outbox and copies the messages into the recipient's inbox. Because the robots never directly touch the Git repository, the system avoids locking problems and keeps the file history simple. The God agent watches all messages. For straightforward or routine requests, it can answer immediately and leave the agents alone. For requests that involve spending money, changing scope, or performing destructive operations, it pushes those messages into an approvals queue that only you can see. When you pull an approval, the God agent forwards it to the relevant agent and continues monitoring. If you do not answer, the request simply stays in the queue until you do. You can watch the office from the main view. Avatar icons move around the floor showing where each agent is working. Envelopes fly between avatars to reflect messages being sent. If you click an avatar, you get a live terminal window that streams the agent's output, lets you type in commands, and shows the underlying file system and Git history. The terminal window also shows a command bar for running commands and a file tree for browsing source files. The whole thing is built for audio operation as well. If you prefer voice, there is a talk button that hands your voice through the God agent. The system also supports many integrations. It can receive Slack messages or webhook posts, spawn transient worker agents to answer a request, and expose a shared agent gallery that lets you import job templates. Key features: full terminal support. Any CLI you already run can become an agent. Each runs in its own pseudo-terminal. Accurately rendered with Term.js, visual office agents appear as avatars that walk around a canvas written in Pixie.js. Their movement reflects real work, and their avatars change when they receive messages. Concurrent work. Each agent can work at the same time with its own Git work tree. They do not conflict because the harness uses a dedicated Git repository for the Hive state memory layer. A semantic markdown memory is built into the system. When an agent learns something, it stores that information in a searchable index. Spin up multiple sets of agents and they will all share the same memory, which means the same knowledge can be reused instantly. Enterprise knowledge graph. Your own documents and policies can be added to the memory, making them accessible to every agent. Safety gates, spending limits, destructivity op escalation, and a circuit breaker ladder help you keep control. If an agent starts looping or using too many tokens, the system offers a stop prompt. Command center, a Kanban board, scheduled missions with heartbeats, traffic monitoring, memory search, activity log, and even a built-in Monaco editor that can open any file in the workspace, compare branches, and perform guarded checkouts. Advanced tooling. The system can switch between many AI engines, read token usage and cost telemetry, track budgets, and pop up a waterfall of paragent. Spans multi-platform. The app is available on Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. The executable is signed and notarized for Mac OS, packaged as a portable installer for Windows, and delivered as a tarball for Linux. Extensibility. The hook server can receive webhook payloads from external services, e.g., GitHub issues or Slack commands, and inject those payloads as messages for agents. The system also supports BIOC API keys and local LLMs, so you can keep your data on your own server. Installing. You need Mac OS, Windows, or Linux with Node 18 or newer, and a C++ toolchain for the Nodapty native add-in, e.g., Xcode command line tools on Mac OS. Your path should already contain at least one of the supported agent CLIs. Then, 1. Git clone https GitHub chaitanyagiri munder-difflin Git 2 cd munder-difflin 3 npm install. After the step, the native add-in is rebuilt against Electron's API. 4. npm run dev launches the Electron app with hot reload. The first time you launch, a wizard walks you through connecting your API keys, setting up the workspace, and selecting which local AI engines you want. After that, you can immediately start an agent by clicking Add Agent. The harness exposes many npm scripts to aid development. npm run build creates a production build. npm run preview lets you see the packaged app in action. And npm run type check validates the types in the main and renderer codibases. If the native add-in fails after a major Electron update, simply rerun npm install, which triggers the rebuild. Architecture. At the heart of the application are two planes that feed data into a single renderer. The terminal plane is responsible for launching each process in a pseudo-terminal and forwarding its output to the renderer over a typed IPC channel. The renderer only touches the window context via a safe bridge, which also gives the renderer read-only access to the local file system and Git helpers. The Hive or event plane sits on disk. It holds agent mailboxes, a shared blackboard, and an event log. A tiny router pulls messages from an agent's outbox and pushes them to the recipient's inbox. The God agent sits on top of this, pulls work from envelopes, routes them to the correct destination, and escalates special cases to you. All of this glue is written in Node, but the logic is intentionally straightforward so that it can be inspected and extended locally. Project structure. The source tree is split into src main for the Electron main process, src preload for the safe context bridge, and src renderer for the React UI. A docs folder holds design assets, landing page code, and a Remotion project that renders animated clips of the How It Works visualization. The top-level changelog MD and Hive MD contain release notes and design documents, and the license is MIT for the code and a non-commercial license for the pixel art assets. Design system. The visual skin is a nostalgic blend of Animal Crossing, Earthbound, and classic SNES menu interfaces. Tokens define colors, fonts, and spacing, and every component is written to use those tokens so you can remix the look with minimal effort. The office floor is rendered in 32 pixel tiles, and avatars are colored variations on a core set of sprites inspired by the cast of The Office. Roadmap. Previous releases added 10 engine integrations, voice orchestration, the Hive, the command center, a Monaco editor, a full sandboxed memory graph, a circuit breaker, automatic updates, and multi-window support. The next milestones include adding more chat bridges such as Telegram, which will let you queue questions via a chat channel and receive answers back into the same channel, growing the list of supported engines, and providing ready-made templates for common integration patterns, completing avatar coverage so that all station visits and spoken tool bubbles come from real hook events, persisting layout and per session history, so the office looks exactly the same each time you log in. Contributing. The project is open for contributions. Fork the repository, run npm install and npm run dev, keep the type checker green, and follow the design tokens for any new UI elements. Good places to start are wiring hooks into real events, tightening the add agent flow, polishing the settings drawer, and adding more cross-platform support. A PR that adds a new hook or a bot integration is especially welcome. Join the Discord community and add your handle to pull requests to earn the Employee of the Month badge. Telemetry. The official binaries send a minimal set of anonymous events such as when the app is opened, when an agent is spawned, and which feature is used. No code, file paths, or sensitive output is reported. Users can opt out through a toggle in the settings, set an environment variable, or build from source where telemetry is disabled by default. License. The pixel art assets come from LimeZoo under a non-commercial license, so if you plan to use the app in a commercial context, you should replace those tiles or obtain a paid license. The JavaScript and TypeScript source code is released under the MIT license, which lets you use it freely as long as you keep the attribution. The project is a playful homage to the television show The Office and is not affiliated with NBC or the original rights holders. Acknowledgements. The project relies on several open-source libraries, including Pixie.js for rendering, Zterm.js for terminal emulation, NodeOpti for process management, ElectronVite for packaging, CodeMirror for editing, and Remotion for generating the landing page clips. The pixel assets are provided by LimeZoo and Shahar061's VFS repo, and the overall concept is an affectionate parody of the fictional Dunder Mifflin Company.